Also, these interesting concepts that have to do with surveillance capitalism. Okay, that's why artificial intelligence as an industry is being quickly developing, and it's being heavily invested, because we need new and better ways to collect data from individuals, from anyone who uses internet. So these are very brief and quick information regarding artificial intelligence. This is not a definition, but we can understand that artificial intelligence, in a general way, remember, this is an introduction, a generally speaking way of presenting the topic. In a general way, artificial intelligence, since it is composed by big data analysis, big and small data analysis in plural, by algorithms, by neural learning and network, and by deep learning also. So interesting data. By 2020, only 0.5% of the internet traffic was being analyzed. By 2020, that it happened like a blink ago, like yesterday. By 2020, only 0.5% of the internet traffic was being analyzed through artificial intelligence or through specialists. But by 2025, it is expected to grow up to 33%. That's crazy. Like from 0 to 32% in less than 5 years. It's crazy. And here I put each day we come closer to the singularity state. I'm not gonna discuss nor talk about the singularity or regarding singularity, any of that, but it's such a lovely topic to introduce to your love night, or to people, which whoever you're speaking this topic to, because singularity gets to be a really, really weird concept. So throw that ball to your alumni to see how they react. Okay. Of course, all this surveillance capitalism and digital technology and artificial intelligence, etc., of course, they not pose a full threat to the humanity, to us, the people. It is almost to none, almost to zero. It's impossible for us to protect, to defend ourselves in such a efficient way from surveillance capitalism schemes, if we want to participate in the internet sphere. So that's one information. That's a really important information. We can't escape from surveillance capitalism schemes, but we can do some activities in where we can perform in a better way as users. Some of the benefits of digital technology are low production costs. We can reach more citizens. We can reach broader geographical spaces. Also, it's a competence development and transformation. For example, I'm gonna say random information. For example, in the 1950s, half of the women, I don't have this data precisely, but let's make an assumption. In the 1950s, half of the women knew how to use sewing machines. How big data is helping our daily lives? For example, we have these four examples. To report situations, to lively report situations, for example, some accident developing. So the need of firefighters to go and to approach a situation. I don't know how to say it. To police to go to a specific situation, violence in a public environment, in a private environment, whatever. Of course, marketing is taking a lot of advantage from this. Okay, so how can we use big data to favor to report situation, to describe behaviors. For example, in coffee shops, in public coffee shops, they can put music according to what people want to listen, and automatically they configure themselves, and they leave the bartender out of the responsibility of putting music according to what people want to play. Okay. The third one has to do, like a specific example, it has to do, for example, with ways that helps us avoid congestion or slow transit situations through the suggestion of alternative routes while we're driving, and most interestingly, to anticipate solutions or anticipate decision-making activities. For example, sensors can predict a lack of fresh water in some crops, or freezing crops, or early decomposition of some crops, cultivos. So that's an interesting way of using technology in our favor. If you want to introduce someone to the topic, like briefly introduce someone to the topic, okay, you can go, speaking the devil, you can go to Netflix and watch these two sort of documentaries. I don't know if they're formally documentaries, as I know them. Well, anyway, you can watch The Great Hack, you can watch The Social Dilemma. In what to read, of course, I'm gonna recommend this book. This book is like my doctoral thesis Bible, one of them. In the Age of Surveillance Capitalism by Shoshana Zuboff. That says that it's called, well, in English it's called People, Power and Profits. It's by Joseph Stiglitz. In Spanish they changed the name a little bit, and it's great because it also addresses digital economies and digital capitalism in a much more easier or briefer way that Shoshana Zuboff does. If you want to go into more deeper conversations, into a more deeper themes or schemes, you have to read Mark Fisher. Here I have my electronic copy of Post-Capitalism Desire. It was one of the, well, it was the final lectures compiled before Mark Fisher passed away. And Mark Fisher has a really interesting way of seeing things, or approaching capitalism from a techno-societal but heavily philosophical influence perspective. Wow, these suggestions, what to listen, these suggestions are for Spanish-speaking audiences. Interesting enough, Darren McNabb, I think he's American, but he produces its content in Spanish. He works in the Universidad de Veracruz. He's really good speaking about philosophical themes regarding capitalism and a whole other aspects. You can go to listen to Darren McNabb regarding Gilles Deleuze, Félix Guattari proposals from the anti-Oedipus and Thousand Plateaus, etc. I mean, from the philosophical perspective, there's a lot of authors you can work with. For example, I'm gonna make this really brief. You can go back to Gilles Deleuze. He speaks about Spinoza, which Spinoza speaks also about capitalism, the foundations of capitalism, in a different way. But you can read this, of course. Regarding Spinoza, Baruch Spinoza, you can approach Tony Negri. This is a great book. The Savage Anomaly. I don't know how it's called in English. In Spanish, it's called La Anomalía Salvaje. You can approach that. I mean, He writes in a lovely way. For me, it was really difficult to understand at the beginning, but it became such a good author, and it helped me understand. Of course, you can read Michel Foucault, Vigilar y Castigar. I don't know how is this translated to English, like survey and punish. I don't know. But Foucault has really lovely constructs, and Foucault has been really, it's used by a wide range of topics. It's gonna, if you know nothing about Foucault, it's gonna blow your mind of how many topics he used to address in his productive life. Do not cancel Michel Foucault work, please. He's being cancelled right now. Don't do that. Also, you can address Slavoj Žižek. Tristan Harris is directing the Center for Humane Technology. Tristan Harris is heavily being criticized because he is a deflector of the technological industry, and most people, radical thinkers, think that he's not really into collaborating with a real change. But I'm gonna suggest you to go visit the Center for Humane Technology website, which has good information. In Argentina, the Universidad Nacional de San Martín National University, I think that's how you can call it in English. You can go check the Digital Economy Observatory. They're doing a great work regarding that. You can follow Pensar con Deleuze, which is a page by Fernando Marazo. He's my one of my philosophy teachers, and he's really passionate and good about Deleuze thinking. I don't know where I left that book. Give me a second. I'm gonna come back. Well, let me finish this, and I'm gonna come back with more book suggestions. And also, you can follow in Instagram the Red Latinoamericana de Antropología Digital. They're less active, but they also hold a lot of interesting information regarding that. If you think you can read and digest philosophical contemporary thinking being written in Spanish, I'm gonna recommend to get, at least if you live in Mexico, I'm gonna recommend to get these two books. The first one is called, I'm gonna read it in Spanish, Vitalismo Filosófico y la crítica a la axiomática capitalista en el pensamiento de Deleuze. This is the first one. The second one is called Vitalismo Deleuziano, perspectivas críticas sobre la axiomática capitalista. They are both coordinated by José Escurdia, philosopher at Universidad Nacional here in Mexico, the UNAM. You don't have to have philosophy foundations to read them. So if you're a Twitter follower, you can go check out Carlos. These two guys are from Argentina. Carlos Scolari, he lives in Spain and he works at Pompeu Fabra University. And Cecilia Danesi, she's affiliated to the Universidad de Buenos Aires, UBA, University of Buenos Aires. They post really interesting information on social media. And with this, I finish my summary of this 4-hour lecture. I hope it gets really interesting for you. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your interest. The more people we get into digital capitalism conversation, the better. So that's it. Thank you very much. See you next time. See you soon. Thank you.